Alright everyone, today's video is going to be about earning money in Red Dead Redemption 2 online, and I'm going to talk about two different methods. One is distinctly superior to the other, and both of them are already known. I'm not going to claim that I discovered these, but I did do significant testing on both. I did a lot of math involved, and calculated the actual earnings rate for both of them, and hopefully that will be of some use. The first method, and what is largely becoming what I've seen to be the most popular method, is hunting near and around the bayou north of Saint Denis, and also alligators down to the bottom left of the Saint Denis city, right here where the islands are, and then up here in the bayou where there are birds. I went through and I did the calculations on how much everything is worth, and alligators are worth next to nothing. Hunting alligators is not at all worth your time, but what is worth your time is hunting rare exotic birds. Now, specifically directly north of the city, you'll find pelicans, you'll find herons, and you'll find spoonbills. And each of those three birds will give you a carcass. You can take two carcasses back to the butcher. They will each give you two feathers when you skin them. Those feathers are often worth over $1. In the case of the spoonbills, which are the best ones, they're worth $1.90 each. So you're getting multiple dollars per skinned bird carcass. So it is a fantastic money-making method. As far as I can tell, the first person to really cover this was Tagback TV, so all credit there since it is a good money-making method. I did not come up with this, and anyone else that I've seen posting this content, I believe the original source was Tagback TV. However, this method is being advertised by a lot of people, and it was stated as something that can earn you $60 in 10 minutes, and I've seen other people talking as high as 90. That is categorically false. That is not true. You should have reasonable expectations when you're going into this method. I did extensive testing on the live stream, and what it turns out is that the travel time, when you incorporate that, when you incorporate the skinning time for the animation, when you factor in the fact that alligators are not worth anything, and you need to specifically be killing rare exotic birds only in order to get even close to that. All of these things combine to make it so that this method is actually about $30 per 10 minutes. It is not possible to start at the butcher and factor in travel time and earn over $45 per 10 minutes. It's not even close to possible to do that, let alone 60, and definitely not 90. So if you're going into this thinking that you're going to be making something like $450 per hour, it is not going to ever happen. The best version of doing this that I was able to find is that you travel directly up the train tracks and you look for pelicans and other exotic birds. And then when you get to about here, where there is this like fork or this boundary area, you turn left into the bayou and go and cover this kind of marshland. In here, there are usually, again, a couple of exotic birds. And then immediately after that, you avoid the bayou altogether and you go directly up the coastline over to this peninsula. On this peninsula, there are a bunch of birds most of the time, and those are quite lucrative. Sometimes you can have extra birds land while you're killing the first birds, and that seems to be the best way that I've uncovered. I did do multiple runs and multiple times testing this, and there was never a point where you can get even close to $60 in 10 minutes. However, what you can do is get a lot of experience points and a decent chunk of money, somewhere in the vicinity of $30 in 10 minutes, and then go back to the butcher down in Saint Denis and sell everything. This isn't really an expose or anything on Tagback TV, just because I did math and it turns out it's not quite accurate, the things that he stated in the video, and especially what other people are now talking about. It's becoming kind of an urban legend that you can hunt and make $90 or more even per hour, or per 10 minutes, sorry. That's kind of absurd, because as far as I can tell, he produces really good material. I tried to do a little scouting after watching that video and understand, a more broader picture of the content creation scene for Red Dead Redemption 2 on YouTube. And if anything, there are a couple of other creators that seem to steal his and other creators' content and then upload it the same exact thing without even contributing their own, discoveries or math or evaluation at all, just a matter of hours after. So if anything, those creators should be the ones that are specifically targeted. But I don't want to see this become another White Arabian Horse style thing where, early on when Red Dead Redemption 2 first launched, everybody kept saying that the White Arabian Horse that you get at Lake Isabella was the best horse in the game, and they kept asking me if I had gotten it and asking other people. The White Arabian Horse is not even close to the best horse in the game, and this money-making method, the one advertised, the hunting method, specifically if you're ever getting alligators are not worth it. Specifically, only if you're hunting rare exotic birds can you even get half of what is advertised for this method. So I want people to have reasonable expectations. If you only have a couple hours to farm and you're doing this and you're making less than half of what was advertised, then you're not going to be able to fulfill your goals. So I just want to put that out there. It's still a fantastic money-making method, but have reasonable expectations. The second method of making money is easier, faster, and more reliable, and it's also something that is pretty flexible. Now again, I was not the one to discover this. I was forwarded this tip by a viewer a couple of days ago, and I didn't have time to get to it till now. So I will link to that channel down in the description. A big thank you to that Southern Gamer 97 Mike. I appreciate it. He was, I believe, the original discoverer of this method. He definitely was the one that forwarded it to me. I did not come up with it, so I wanted to do credit where credit is due. Again, a link to his channel down in the description. I think he's getting started on YouTube, so check him out and give him some support. It's a great method. Now, what you're going to do is come to this house up here in the top left-hand section of the map in West Elizabeth. It is particularly this cabin that I'm highlighting right now. All you're going to do is run into that compound through the door, and there will be a cabinet or a dresser right next to the stairs. Now, you can do this in a lot of different places. I'll go in detail on that in just a second. But in here, in this door, over here is a cabinet. Open the cabinet, search it, and you will find 2 different jewelry items. Now, there are 3 different pairs of jewelry that you can get. The first one is always going to be platinum. That's indicated by the color of the box. The yellow box, that's a platinum necklace. And the second one is going to be one of 3 items, in this case, a gold pendant. There are 3 pairs. You can get a platinum watch with a gold jointed bracelet, or necklace, I guess, a gold jointed something. You can get a platinum band ring with a gold watch, and you can get a platinum necklace with a gold necklace. I've averaged out the cost and the selling values of all of those, and it comes out to $4.70 on average every time you go in and loot that cabinet. They all have similar values. One is valued at $4.85, one is $4.75, and one is $4.60, but on average $4.70 for doing that. Now, once you've done that, as you can see, another player I think is running in to do it right now. Once you've done that, you just hit the start button. You go down to online, and then from online, all you do is hit free roam and then reload your session. This will load you somewhere nearby that compound, and then you just run in and loot those same valuables again. So you're going to be getting $4.70 every single time you do this. However, you have to keep in mind that you can only carry 5 valuables of each type at a time. So as soon as you have 5 of any one of those 3 pairs, you need to take those and go to a fence and sell them. And going to a fence is relatively easy, the same way that you would go and reload your game to free roam. You just hit start, you go to online, and then you select Lemoyne, fast travel to Lemoyne, and I'll show you in just a moment here when I load back in. Then you go to a fence, you sell those items, and then you fast travel free roam back in West Elizabeth, and you come back to the hut. Now, it's better, it's faster, it's more reliable, and you can do this anywhere. Because you can farm the spawns at any location, you're able to just look for platinum jewelry in drawers, in cabinets, in dressers, anywhere that you find a hard spawn of valuable jewelry, particularly platinum, you can farm that location. So I bet you there are houses and huts and different buildings out there that have a lot more valuable jewelry. This is just the current one that's known about that's easy to farm. So if you find another place that has it, and I'll run over and show you one more time. If you find another place that has it, then you can farm that, and if no one knows about it, then you're not going to be competing with them for those drops. So as we run over here, again, there are some other players, which means this is a hazard a little bit, or can be a hazard. He's shooting at me. You would go right here, and then you would search the cabinet, and he's probably going to kill me before I can do it, but you search the cabinet, here they are, you get both of those valuables again. Now, in order to, let's just respawn really fast. Let's say you have all the valuables that you want and it's time to sell them to a fence. All you do is hit start, go to online, and then particularly go over to free roam Lemoyne. And when you hit this, you're going to be loaded into the map somewhere in the vicinity of, let's open it up here, somewhere down here in this region. Now, if you load on this side, you're going to go to the fence in Rhodes because it's much closer. If you load on this side, you're going to go to the fence in Saint Denis. Again, that's closer. And then you just hit start, go to online, free roam West Elizabeth. You'll probably load in somewhere like right here or over here, and then you run back to the cabin right here and then farm it. Again, if you find another location that has valuables, you can reload over and over and farm them the exact same way that you can farm this cabin. After some really basic calculations, it turns out that the hunting method is worth roughly $2.5 per minute if you are extremely efficient. You can be a little bit more effective than that. You can get upwards of maybe close to 3, but you have to be very, very lucky and very, very fast, and that is not something that can be reliably done when there's other players out in that swamp. When you can get bitten by an alligator, you can get bucked off your horse. You can not necessarily find non-stop bird farms because there are significantly less wildlife spawns in online versus single player. So if you're extremely efficient, probably about $2.5 per minute, and then farming the house or any other house where there are valuables, repeatedly spawn farming valuables can net you about $3 per minute. And that is something that is more reliable, faster, easier, and just more stable. So you can farm that more reliably. You can watch a TV show while you do it or something like that. And it's just a better method. Now, I want to take this one step further and level a challenge at everyone that is watching, because I feel like that would just be fun to do, and because I am so confident of the calculations and the testing that I did on yesterday's live stream, where we did this multiple times and did a whole bunch of criteria, etc. If you can post an unedited, uncut video of you standing in front of the butcher in Saint Denis, going into your satchel, going to your materials tab where you see all of your different animal materials, and you have to have an empty materials tab. Unlike me, I have one plume or whatever. You have to have an empty materials tab, and then you go north of Saint Denis here and find the bird spawns or whatever, or the alligators or the boars or any sort of hunting north of Saint Denis, and you can kill a bunch of those and then bring them back to the butcher within 10 minutes. So starting the time from when you get on your horse at the butcher after showing your inventory and showing that you have no animal materials, as soon as you get on your horse, the time starts. You then have 10 minutes to go to hunt, and it doesn't even have to be north in the bayou. It can be over here too. It doesn't matter. 10 minutes to go hunt down as many birds or animals as you can, and then bring the materials back. If you can get more than $90 within 10 minutes and sell all of it and have that $90 in your inventory within 10 minutes, I will match that $90. I will match whatever amount you're able to make above $90, including the $90, from my own personal PayPal, and I will post the results on Twitter. This is the first person to do that, and only the first person to do that. And this challenge goes null and void as soon as they adjust the market prices or the economy in Red Dead 2. So just to reiterate, if you start your unedited video, show in your materials and your provisions tab that you have no animal parts, as soon as you mount your horse, 10 minutes starts, go to your map, and you go hunt. And then during that 10 minutes, you get as many animals as you can. And again, before the 10 minutes is over, you bring them back and sell them to the butcher. And then before the 10 minutes is up, you show your dollar sign, and that in inventory dollar sign is more than $90 increased. I will give you that 90 plus whatever extra you were able to make on PayPal, confirmed, posted on Twitter. You have to submit and tweet at me if you have one of those videos up. So make sure you're following the tweet, the Twitter link, or whatever. The social media garbo is down in the description below if you want to participate in this. And yeah, I don't really anticipate anyone being able to do it, so I probably won't have to even pay it out. But the first person to do it, you will get however much you were able to earn, 90 or whatever dollars from me. That's going to wrap it up. I know this video is probably going to earn some dislikes from a lot of people because they're going to say, well, why does it even matter? It's a good farming method, the hunting, so why'd you even have to go in detail on it? Or other people that don't really want to, reload over and over the open world in order to get the valuables. But the truth is, when you advertise a farming method as $90 or even $60 and it's actually $30 or less per 10 minutes, that comes out to a really big difference if you're trying to farm for an hour and get, a couple hundred or, even $800-900 for the special weapon that you want. So players that have less time in this game and are told that you can make $60 to $90 per 10 minutes and are actually making 30 or less are going to have a worse time because they wasted their time doing something that was not true. So I wanted to put this out there. I hope it's not too provocative and, I guess antagonistic, but that's kind of how it is. I mean, in online, it's a shared world PvP environment. You want to be getting these things that make your character stronger, and you want to accurately be devoting your time to things that are going to better you in a positive way that are true and not false. That's it, though. If you find a better place to farm the valuables, or you find a better money-making method in general, let me know. Put put it in the comments down below. Let's get a discussion going. But yeah, I'll stop it there, and I'll quit my rambling. Check out the other links if you want to support the channel. There's a bunch of different ways to get involved with Upper Echelon. We're about to offer some new merchandise later on for some next consecutive videos, but it's not finished yet, and I want it to be pretty good. So yeah, I'm done. Thanks for watching, and have a nice night.